My dad joked at brunch, money can't fix stupidity. A month later, they tried moving my younger sister into the apartment I'd been saving for myself for years. I'm Celeste, and I've been saving every penny for 3 years to afford this perfect downtown apartment. The deposit alone was $8,000, plus first and last month's rent. I worked double shifts as a nurse just to make it happen. The apartment hunting process was brutal. I must have looked at 50 places over 6 months. Most were either way over budget in terrible neighborhoods, or had issues like broken heating or sketchy landlords. This place was different though. Modern kitchen, huge windows, walking distance to the hospital where I work, and in my exact price range. I'd been living in this tiny studio with paper-thin walls where I could hear every conversation my neighbors had. My bed was literally in my kitchen. I was so ready for a real home. The application process was intense. Credit checks, employment verification, 3 references, proof of income for the last 2 years. I had to provide bank statements showing I had enough saved for the security deposit and 6 months of rent. It took weeks of back and forth paperwork. My family knew how important this was to me. I'd been talking about it constantly for months. Once I get my own place, I can finally start saving for other things, I kept saying. Maybe even go back to school for my master's degree. Last month at family brunch, my dad was going on about financial responsibility. He'd been reading some article about millennials and spending habits. Money can't fix stupidity. He laughed, looking right at me. Some people just don't know how to handle their finances properly. My sister Leora rolled her eyes from across the table. Celeste's always been bad with money. Remember when she couldn't even afford her car payments? That was years ago, and I was in nursing school working part-time at a coffee shop, but whatever. I mean, look at her apartment hunt, Leora continued. She's been looking for months and still hasn't found anything decent in her budget. My mom chimed in. Maybe you should lower your expectations, honey. You don't need anything fancy. I tried explaining that I wasn't looking for fancy, just safe and clean, but they kept cutting me off with more advice about my spending habits and unrealistic expectations. The worst part was my dad's comment about how I waste money on unnecessary things. This from the man who spends $200 a month on golf lessons and just bought a boat he's used twice. Leora had been living rent-free in my parents' basement for 2 years while figuring out her career path. She worked part-time at a boutique and spent most of her money on clothes and weekend trips. But somehow, I was the irresponsible one. I'd been covering family dinners, buying birthday gifts I couldn't afford, and even helped pay for Leora's car repairs last year. But none of that seemed to matter when they were critiquing my financial decisions. 2 weeks after that brunch, I finally got approved for the apartment. I was so excited I could barely contain myself. I called my mom immediately to share the news. "That's nice, dear," she said flatly. "Just remember, rent is a big responsibility. Make sure you can actually handle it." Even my moment of joy got turned into another lecture about my supposed financial incompetence. I spent the next week coordinating the move-in date, setting up utilities, buying basic furniture from thrift stores and clearance sales. Every purchase was carefully calculated. I made spreadsheets tracking every expense. Fast forward to last week. I'm signing my lease when my phone explodes with texts. "Leora, Dad says you're being selfish with the apartment." "Mom, family comes first, Celeste." Turns out, Leora's boyfriend dumped her and she needed somewhere to live. My parents decided my apartment would be perfect for her. They'd already promised her she could move in. They even called my landlord behind my back, claiming there was a family emergency and Leora needed to be added to the lease. Here's the thing though, I'm the only one on the lease. I'm the one who paid the deposits. I'm the one whose credit got checked. When Leora showed up with a moving truck, the landlord called me confused. "Your sister is here with boxes, but I can't let her in. You're the only authorized tenant." I told him exactly what I told my family. "She's not authorized to be there. Please call security if she doesn't leave." Leora had to move back in with my parents. Apparently, I'm cruel and selfish.